Good morning. It's Lisa with Lisa Heal Yourself. And this morning I want to talk about the inner work, right? All that inner work that you need to do in order to heal. And I want to tell you that it is not as complicated as you think it is. A lot of people think that healing your past is hard because you have to unearth all the trauma. You have to unearth all those old hurts, those old wounds, those old pains, those old memories. You have to go back and relive everything bad that ever happened to you so you can integrate it and become whole again. You have to continually go back and look in the past and dig these things and mine for them. And it seems and feels exhausting. And that is. So I want you to scratch that. That is not really what doing the past work is about. Okay, so when you're healing your past, you actually don't need to go back to your past. You don't need to go sit with all of that stuff and journal about it and unearth it and mine for it and dig for it. So that is why a lot of people resist healing their past and doing the inner work, because they think it's too much work to go back and try to remember all this, all the hurts, all the baggage, all the upsets, all the trauma, right? All the insults, all the things that are holding you back or could be holding you back. And it just feels never ending because you've lived such a big life, right? And such a long life up to this point. So what is healing your past? What does inner work look like? Okay, that's what I want to talk to you about today. And I hope to make this simple for you. So if you're ready, here we go. So the first thing I want you to understand is that everything from your past, all of the stuff that you actually need to heal, presents itself to you in the moment. Okay, so there is no need to go back and to find all of these memories and all of these emotions and all of these old wounds and traumas. It will present itself to you in the actual moment. It presents itself to you as current upsets, current triggers, current sadness, current anger, current feelings, current grief, whatever. So on a day-to-day scale, as you're living your life, anything that's an old wound, anything that happened to you in the past that still needs to be resolved will show up again. And that's how you know that it's not healed, if it continues to show up now, in the present. So you can do all your healing work, all your inner emotional healing work from your past right here in the present. So take a big breath, take a sigh. Isn't that a relief to know that you don't have to go looking and searching, that it will come to you? Okay, so anything that needs to be healed will come up and it will come to you. So what do I mean by that? So this is really important and I want to make sure that you understand it. So you will never get to the end of healing work if you're continually looking in the past, because it is too big a job. So if you're always looking back, if you're always thinking, God, there's so much that I have to heal, there's so much I have to let go of, there's so much I have to unearth, and there's so much trauma that I have to talk about and deal with, okay? You will never, that's why healing seems like it's so hard and it takes forever. Because if you're always in the past, trying to correct the past, number one, it's gone. The past is gone. It's history. It doesn't exist. Okay, so trying to mend or solve or rewrite the past just isn't possible. Okay, it's not possible. And it's not possible to relive everything and really unearth all those feelings and go back, because they're not real. You're not in the past anymore. And B, there's just too much, right? It's too much. It's too much for anybody to do. And that's why healing work can go on forever for some people. And it can feel so daunting and so overwhelming and like never ending. So please, if you're doing inner healing work, if you're doing emotional healing work, mind, body healing work, just get it out of your mind right now that you have to go back and fix everything from the past and integrate everything from the past and right every wrong, okay? That is just not how it works. If we spend our time in the present moment, which is what is real, right? The future's not real, the past's not real. The present moment is real. If we spend our time in the present moment, which is very hard for for us to do as human beings. We're always worrying about the past or worrying about the future, right? But if we spend our time here in the present moment and just trying to take the day in, being grounded in the day, being alive for today, what really needs to be healed will come to you today. You will find yourself being triggered by certain things or people. Emotions will rise to the top. Feelings will rise to the top. Trauma, anger, grief, sadness, shame, all of these emotions, all of these different things will rise to the top when they need to be felt and when they need to be healed and when they need to be looked at, when they need to be comforted, when they need to be soothed, when they need you to do the work. So this is like a real time healing. So it is definitely something that's happening to you present moment. Healing is a present moment job. Let's put it that way. So healing anything, healing your past, healing your emotions, healing all of it, trauma, PTSD, everything happens now, today, in the present moment. So you don't need to worry, because if nothing ever comes up, like, you don't need to worry that you need to dig for it, right? That, oh my God, if I'm not digging in my past, that I'm not healing. That is not true, because anything that still needs to be healed, anything that you're still holding on to, anything that's causing you pain or causing you emotional distress will rise. You will bump into a person or a situation or something in your life today, and your anger cup will spill over, or your grief cup will spill over, or your shame or embarrassment or abandonment feelings will come to the surface, right? These things will arise right here, right now. And it's when they arise, normally it's a very inconvenient time, or we don't want to deal with it. So we push it down, we push it away, and we say, I'll deal with that later. Don't you see? We can never go back and deal with it. It's all happening now. So we must really be brave and courageous that as feelings rise, we deal with them now, in the present. As emotions rise up to the top and meet us, and we feel the anger, we feel the trigger, we feel the shame, we feel the guilt, we feel the sadness, we feel the grief, we feel the suffering, we feel, whatever it is that we feel it now. Okay, and that's just present moment work. Now you can journal right in the moment, you can talk about it right in the moment, you can sit in meditation and think about it right in the moment, you can feel it, you can allow that feeling to come and know that that's your inner child saying, look at me, please look at me, I'm here, right? And you don't need to go back, you don't need to dig anymore, just look at that feeling, look at that emotion, look at that hurt, look at that pain, it's greeting you now, here. And you need to be with it. You need to not abandon it. You need to stay with it, look at it, soothe it, love it, right? Do all the things that it needed you to do way back then. And maybe you can't even link it to the first time. I mean, some of these times you can do the work in the moment and you can say, when was the first time I felt this? And you can bring up the past and you can meet them and you can integrate them, and that's wonderful if you can. But if you can't, don't stress. Just be with that feeling in the moment and stay with it. Don't abandon it. Love it. Listen to it, right? Don't shut it up. Listen to it. Feel it. Allow it to express. And just have a soft place for this feeling to exist in you. And you can still be okay. You can still meet this childhood that's rising with the real grown-up you right now, who can comfort and soothe and love it and tell it that it's okay, right? You're here now. So we need to do this work now. So this is the secret, okay? This is the secret. So if you're wondering, how do I heal the past? This is the secret. The secret that is that the past is gone. And whatever arises now is all that needs to be healed. Okay, and it will meet you, it will show you, it will come. And all you truly need to do is, this is how we make the unconscious, the subconscious, conscious. Okay, this is how we get to all those unconscious feelings and unconscious traumas and unconscious problems in our lives that are keeping us sick and keeping us stuck. We make the unconscious and the subconscious conscious here, right in the present moment, when we just allow whatever trigger happens and then we allow the subsequent feeling, emotion, like just anything that comes up, we watch it and we detach from it, not as a way to be passive and not as a way to take your power out of the equation or to be able to do anything, but we detach in the form of quite the opposite. It takes a lot of power to detach and to become the observer and to become aware and to let this unconscious become conscious. And that's all we need to do. We need to allow what's rising to come, to step back out of the story that's keeping us in this, we're locked into a story as it comes up, and we're in reactive mode. And when we step back from reacting to protecting ourselves is what we're really doing. We're reacting with either anger or sadness or however we're reacting, or we run away, we try to get away, we leave the situation, we storm off, or we explode, or we yell, or we start to cry, or whatever this raw reaction that comes forth is because we're just defending ourselves, right? We're trying to keep ourselves safe from further hurt on a wound from the past that has not been healed yet. Okay, and so it's coming to you, and it takes great power to detach and to allow this unconscious to become conscious. What do I mean by that? To actually see that this is what needs to be healed. And the way you do that is by you step back out of the story and you look at it from an observer's eyes and just allow it. Allow it to come, witness it, allow it to be heard, allow it to be fully seen, and allow it to be fully felt. Without fear of it taking you under, without fear of it taking you over, without fear that you'll die, that you need to protect yourself or defend yourself against it, right? Just allow it as a witnesser to be fully seen, heard, and felt. And when it does feel fully seen, heard, and felt, it will pass. The strength of it will lessen and loosen, and you stay with loving kindness, acceptance. You don't abandon yourself. You don't judge yourself. You don't criticize yourself. You don't leave yourself. You don't try to fix yourself. You just allow what is to be, and you watch it, and you hear it, and you listen to it, and you feel it, and you allow it fully, right? In 3D. You allow everything about it to be without getting caught up in its web. And when it feels fully heard, seen, witnessed, and felt, it says, thank you. I needed you to see me. I needed you to hear me. I needed to be felt and seen and witnessed and heard, right? I needed to be validated. I needed to be seen. I'm just a child. I just need you. I need you. So I know this sounds crazy, but this is true. You just be with it. You just witness it. You just allow it to be fully felt. And that's how we integrate. It's like, wow, I didn't need to run or protect or defend or shield or isolate against this, because it will pass no matter how intense, no matter how strong the intensity is. We just allow it to express in its full glory, really. And we don't need to go back and unearth it from the past. What is this even linked to? I mean, that is great work, and I do talk a lot about fragmentation and integrating this, and that's a great video. If you want to follow up after this, search my name with fragmentation. And that's also great work that you can do. But at a basic, simple level, you just need to be in the moment with everything that comes up, and that's how you heal. You just see it, you feel it, you witness it, you acknowledge it, you love it, you accept it. You become consciously aware in the moment that you are not that, you are not the story, that you can step back, that you don't need to run, you don't need to hide, you don't need to shield, you don't need to protect, you don't need to, whatever it is that you do, and that you're okay. And this is how we heal. This is how we heal the past. So this is how you transcend, you know, all your past hurts. This is how you heal. This is truly how you be healed. And I really want you to hear this because it's important. You can't think your way to health or think your way out of all your past hurts, or like think it through, because thinking is a past. It's like we're thinking, and we're either thinking in the future, we're future thinking, or we're thinking about the past, we're reliving something. So thinking is actually keeping it alive. Trying to think your way to health and think your way out of this and think your way through this is not what we need to do here, because it's actually keeping it alive. And all those thoughts that you have about needing to be healed, and you need to be healed, and you're the type of person who's sick and you need healing, those are also thoughts and identities that we need to drop. And because we're keeping it alive, and we're keeping that alive and the idea alive, and we're searching and we're going back and we're doing all this work, when really, if we just stay in the present and allow everything to come to us, our job is not to think our way out of it. Our job is really to finally allow it to be seen and felt and heard and witnessed, and just know that it's okay to feel these things as they arise in the moment. And that is all we need to do. There is the power of the weight of all that grief and pain and trauma that comes to meet us right here, where we are now, in the future, in the present. It's already there. We don't need to unearth it from the past. So we try to hear it and see it and witness it. And when we do, it loses its hold, and it actually breaks ties with the past. This is actually how the healing happens. It happens here, moment to moment. And that's when people say healing is such hard work. They're actually like living in the future, like doing diets and protocols and things, and they're thinking like, I'll never be healed and I need to do all these things. Or they're like looking in the past, and I have to dig all this up, and all this trauma and all these things and all these events and all these people and all this stuff happened to me. And that's overwhelming. But that's not what the hard work of healing is. The true hard work of healing is actually just being in the present moment, allowing all of this, all of these feelings to come up. And you will notice triggers throughout the day. It triggers this, it triggers this triggers this feeling in you, this triggers this emotion in you, right? This person triggers this in you, this event or experience triggers that in you. And when it triggers something in us that is uncomfortable, that is too heavy, that is hard, we recoil from that. We try to defend, we try to protect, we try to get away from. We are uncomfortable, we react, we lash out, we do anything we can rather than feel it. And this is the work that we need to do, not go through our past history. It's just allowing it right here in the present to be what it is, and to face it right here and now, to allow it right here and now, to integrate it right here and now. And this is how we heal ourselves. This is the hard work, because you will be triggered. You could be triggered all day long. And really witnessing and allowing all day long is hard work. That's why people say healing is hard, because it's being in the moment, and it's allowing yourself to be in this moment and to be conscious, rather than go into these unconscious states of just old patterns playing themselves out, and our reactions playing ourselves out over and over. We become conscious of what actually is, and allow it, accept it, hear it, feel it. And that's how it cuts ties from the past. All that work is done naturally, all that work is done for us when we just allow in the present moment. So I really hope you hear this. This is so important. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking just being aware and allowing is doing nothing. I'm literally doing nothing by just observing and allowing. But you're wrong. You're actually doing everything. You're doing everything that you need to do by literally doing nothing, right? You feel like you're doing nothing because you're just sitting there allowing and accepting and watching, and that feels so foreign to you because you're not in action, you're not doing anything, but you truly are doing everything. Because anything that's in the light of your conscious awareness no longer holds that power over you, that subconscious and unconscious power over you to feel and react a certain way. Once you're conscious of it, once you see and you stop the reactions and you just allow what's happening, and you're doing everything. You're doing all the healing work all at once. It is so hard. I know you're going to say like, oh, well, that's basically just going through my day doing nothing. And you will see how hard it is. It's so hard. But it is the work. It's the work. It's the real meat of the work that you need to do. You need to stop saying, I'm sick. I need to be healed. I need to search in the past. I need to plan this future. I need to create this new identity. I need to do everything. And I know I do all these videos about healing the past and creating, and they're important. I mean, it's good work to do. But the truth of it is, when you're just in the present, if you can just be here now, every worry from the future and every trauma from the past will arise right here now. And if we can just really hear it, see it, feel it, understand it, and become conscious of it, aware, step back so that we don't need to react to it and just allow it to take its full form in front of us, and that feeling that we get, that we hate it, but we must feel it, that is the stuff. That's healing. That is healing. You will see that you can now live a life when you're fully conscious of everything. And I mean, it's very difficult to be fully conscious. We just slip back into our unconscious and subconscious patterns and stories like all the time. You will notice this. This is very hard work to do, but if you can do this, this is how you heal, truly. We just let go of all those stories, all those identities, all the things that we need to do and problems that we have that we need to fix or heal. And we just be here now, and we meet whatever comes up here without running, with love, with acceptance, right? With unconditional, unwavering presence and love. And that's how we do it. That's how we heal. So I hope this video has been helpful, and I will see you in the next one.